you Here we are, the smuggler's moon. It's the gaping maw of Nar Shaddaa, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer. Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Nar Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If we wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot. It means glorious jewel in Huttese, but don't let that fool you. It's the central breeding grounds of the Hutts. Nar Shaddaa orbits it. Nal Hutta's as slimy as the Hutts. Lots of swamp and bloated gas. It's where those slugs reach out and grab chunks of the galaxy. Trust me, we're not going to go anywhere near the place unless we want to be washing the stink out of our clothes for the next few years. Yeah, some came looking for work running freight and cargo. Still, there's only so many ships to go around and so many workers, so others lend their weapons to the Hutts in the exchange. It's become a prime base for raider recruitment across the galaxy. It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa, finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in, or find you once you arrive. Anyone flying the star lanes has docked on Nar Shaddaa at least once. I wouldn't want to live there, and I doubt anyone does by choice. Shouldn't be too hard. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa, finding anyone on the moon's surface is going to be hard. We're going to touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in, or find you once you arrive. I've plotted a course for the refugee sector, and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's going to find us here.
Perhaps you have heard that the Jedi comes to Nar Shaddaa. While he walks upon the smuggler's moon, he is not to be harmed. You may watch him, observe his movements, but nothing more. You must, because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Bomababe want to susintu mukarata. Tu esfrektonatada beer mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi meborokra.
Panisukakran, joka mata storch ban locha. Joana masaranka ma ramazurata. Keso juskrita lorsa. Yumacha fueko mikojira.
Loka kamaran endoso ranwi no chabi. Tu rantamana sobu. Febko emareyam ga watasitu insula raka rakachata. Tamaso kinchuda wanka. Mopi unawana si chokoratawa.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
Dahupo boteño go jucho picha, taba ni sochu, norotoga proto lalashishi, jubadosa jibacha, ratak mansan, tokosha na chitolo. Joana masaranka ma ramazurata, keso juskrita lorsa, yumacha fueko mikojira, kawanabota atagwa kankadira, yutaka alwanji yumaliba, yues mahawika si wawanta mo guika wansoba, wakama nurawa.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
Honto no saka, jita bedwana maticha, doveri nincha yonona shitasa chuch. Si machadana, dona we searcha makaran.
Ah, the beautiful stench and decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Never have I been to a place so alive with the Force, yet so dead to it. The contrast is like a blade.
Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll fall for hours. Sure, most of the landing pads around here are unclaimed, or should be. They're pretty badly maintained, so they're not safe to land on. Well, I mean, not this one. But they all have the reputation, so we should be all right. I think. Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit our ID signature. You know what trouble that always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system. No, but I forgot to tell them we were landing. The refugee sector's a dead zone. No one cares too much who flies in and out of here as long as they're not carrying cargo that the Exchange or the Hutts might want a piece of. Yeah, in all its glory. Don't get your hopes up from what you see here, though. As soon as we hit the main sector, that's when the smell and the mobs can get pretty bad. Alright then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you.
Finding a Jedi, or anyone else touched by the Force here, will be difficult. The mass of people, the rush of their emotions, it makes detection difficult.
The moon is a swarming cloak, a shadow of emotions. It is an effective shield, but if we come near the Jedi, I may be able to see him.
You will not come near the Jedi. I will not allow it.
You mistake my intentions. I care nothing for this Jedi. But if finding him will speed our journey, then I will aid you in your search.
We do not need your assistance, Dark Jedi.
Enough. This moon does not get any smaller while we debate. This sector is as good as any place to begin our search, so let us begin.
Well, if we're gonna search a moon of a few billion inhabitants for one Jedi that even our own can't sense, might as well start as soon as possible. Alright, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You there!
Uh-oh.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad! The problem is, you are on my landing pad. I got another ship coming in, and unless you want that piece of junk's hull crushed flat, you better move it. Got it? That's none of your business. All you need to know is that they're gonna be firing up their quad lasers if they find your ship squatting there when they arrive. Yeah, right now all I'm hearing is talk. How much you offering? Done! Pleasure doing business with you. I got some visitors booked for your space, but I'm sure the two of you can work it out when they arrive.
No, look, you can't keep us trapped in the refugee sector. We can't survive there. You've got us locked in. Thanks for your help. They would have crippled me for sure. Well, they work for the Exchange, for a Quarren named Visquis. He's looking to step up in the Exchange. The only language the Exchange respects is money, so Visquis is trying to increase his profits by using the refugees here in Nar Shaddaa as a cheap labor force. We're only good to him as slaves and merchandise. He wants to keep us in one place, so he can control us. That's always been the way. Well, except lately. You don't. He comes to you. If he's got reason to. Either because you can help him out, or because you're making trouble. Either way, it's not a good thing. The Exchange has been clamping down on the refugee sector hard, and I've no idea why. They've started kidnapping people, hurting others, but there seems to be no reason to it. Whatever your reasons, thanks.
Spare a few credits, friend. Much appreciated, friend. Life's hard in the refugee sector, and this should go a long way to helping. All right. I don't know much beyond the refugee sector here, but I can share what I know. Jedi Master? There aren't any Jedi Masters in the galaxy, let alone on Nar Shaddaa. This place is a cesspit, with the Exchange and the Hutts stabbing their claws into everything. But, you know, I did hear something about a bounty on Jedi, though. Something the Exchange posted. Doesn't matter, though. Aren't any more Jedi around, so no one's going to be collecting that bounty. You're lying. You're mad. A Jedi wouldn't come to the... You're serious. You're telling the truth. What are you doing here? Are you trying to get us out of this place? Please, you have no idea what life is like here. Of course. Of course. Tell me, what else did you want to know, Jedi? Not much to say, except there's a high price. You need to find a bounty hunter to get more, and they've been pretty scarce lately. You might have more luck trying to find someone connected to the Exchange. And I don't mean some spaceport muscle, I mean someone connected. No idea. Could be one of them crossed the Exchange, and they're looking for revenge on all of them. Well, they tend to lay low. To be honest, it's like with bounty hunters. You may need to do something to get their attention. Look, Jedi, before you go, I know you probably didn't come here to save us, but I knew Jedi during the war, and I know that they always helped when they could. If I can help you, even just by keeping an ear out, I can let you know if I hear anything. I'll do that then. I'll come seek you out if I hear anything I think you might want to know.
I saw what you did to those Exchange thugs, stranger. Can you spare a few credits, maybe help another refugee in need? Thank you, stranger. I won't forget your kindness.
Why did you do such a thing? Such kindnesses will mean nothing. His path is set. Giving him what he has not earned is like pouring sand into his hands. And would that be a kindness? What if by surviving another day he brings a greater darkness upon another? The Force binds all things. The slightest push, the smallest touch, sends echoes throughout life. Even an act of kindness may have more severe repercussions than you know or can see. By giving him something he has not earned, perhaps all you have helped him become is a target. Seeing another elevated often brings the eyes of others who suffer. And perhaps in the end, all you have wrought is more pain. And that is my lesson to you. Be careful of charity and kindness, lest you do more harm with open hands than with a clenched fist. Very well, but mind what I have said. Use your power, but in its proper place.
And what did he want?
Nothing. Just answers to some questions.
It's okay. I already know he's a Jedi.
You do? Then why?
Trust me, Nar Shaddaa just got complicated.
Yes?
Geraktada cemense bingar rugutodo unde jujuamataso benkisha manensitse. Fela dibono ta munikranaktada. Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemenoto torere senesenten. Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto guru kattada. Fiaratore padano ringatel camarada telefibo nubo da bicarana cenirara.
Sullistan's hearing's pretty sharp, if you couldn't guess from the lobes.
Va te vaca reware, sumukun cere nurigrom. Mune idere riba konodosa. Barinkeshka bunsa tilansomentatasa. Der inturunto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan korsadara nane gra dalonuta choloren. Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto guru kattada. Fiaratore padano ringatel camarada telefibo nubo da bicarana cenirara.
Big Ears here might know someone who can change the Ebon Hawk's ID signature. Could be useful for avoiding notice.
Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto run kawre kare papanala ranshinga. Terace wemenoto torere senesenten. Terewana jun konata della raguno tunna. Dai rinto runka warekare papanala ranshinga. Derace we minuto to rere senisensen. Der rinto runto wakare kwe wap gerebu. Ninso telepachan gorsada nane gra dall'unuta choloren. Charanana gundoso remina che l'orakto guru kattada. Fiadoratore padano ringatel camarada te la fibo nubo da bicarana ceni rara. Ona giun senisensen drawice canel commercio ce la fibo nolot. Docento rinteri. Che resonto cenig rexi contunso des giun karatata. Der rinto runto wakare kwe wapater tanan chingaradana. Ferrar rampada no de ringtada nel camera ce la fibo nubo dat. Dosene caramala blue incidera mel rebe cincin cranactada.
please, look, I already paid the exchange what I have. But oh, look! Here's the one with your credits. About time. Look, these gentlemen are getting impatient.
Jedi code is still alive and well. If you say so, I'm not sure I believe it. There's a lot of people who need help in the galaxy. If we stop to help each one, the Sith are going to be on us faster than anything. Let's just accomplish our mission first, then worry about everyone else.
Are you crazy? That was exchange muscle. When they hear about this, they'll come back a dozen strong and tear you limb from limb. All right. What'd you want to know? Jedi Master? Are you crazy? There aren't any more Jedi running around, let alone Masters. But you're serious, aren't you? All right, well, look. If I were a Jedi, I'd be where I could help people. As for where that happens on Nar Shaddaa, I have no idea. The bounty hunters don't have any one place where they stick around. Best thing I can tell you is if you want to find one, get a bounty on your head and then wait. Are you serious? All right. I must be doing something right for you to come along and bail me out like you did.
To show such compassion weakens the giver and the recipient. Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them from a great distance, like a shiver running through you. It is Nar Shaddaa, the true Nar Shaddaa that you feel around you. It is this moon, with the metal and machines stripped away and the currents of the Force laid bare. I'm surprised you can feel it. I feared the damage to you had deadened you to such perceptions. What you feel is the echo of the minds of these creatures within the Force, their anger, their greed, their desperation. It is life. One might as well heal the universe, but such manipulation is possible, yes. It requires that one be able to feel the critical point within the fractured mass, and know how to strike it in such a way that the echoes travel to your intended destination. Have you learned nothing? Healing is manipulation, and if you do not realize it yet, then you will discover that an act of healing depends largely on your perspective. Manipulation is done through propelling events, or selected ones, into motion. It is done through teaching, through example, and through conviction. And the greatest of victories are not manipulations at all, but simply awakening others to the truth of what you believe, of hearing it echoed around you in life. But let us be silent. Words and thoughts are distractions. Feel this moment, for as long as it will last.
Dawacho simu poendo rakawa ichi rendu momopa ramakawana abawasi. You kroren man mapusiti nolara. Dawacho simu poendo rakawa ichi rendu momopa ramakawana abawasi. You kroren man mapusiti nolara.
Hey, I saw that ship you flew in on. My ship.
Your ship? I'd lay off the spice if I were you. That's our ship, not yours.
Was I talking to you? I tell you, that ship's mine. It's the Ebon Hawk, isn't it? She was stolen from me during a routine run in the Mid-Rim, near the close of the Mandalorian Wars. The registry's 34 P7JK. It's got a temperamental hyperdrive, and the turrets can be sluggish and unresponsive against fast-moving fighters. She's also got 2 secret compartments, one in the cargo hold, right near the plasteel cylinders in the back, and the second beneath the bunks in the starboard cabin.
Whoa, he could have gotten that information some other way than owning the ship. Come on, he's skifting us.
So, you gonna hand it over now, or are you going to be difficult? No deal. A ship's worth its weight in spice on Nar Shaddaa, and nothing's worth being trapped here another year scrounging freight jobs.
What? It's our ship. I mean, your ship, that I fly.
Good to hear you aren't going to challenge it. That makes things a lot easier.
What are you doing? That's gonna trap us here.
I'll be going now. Get used to the solid ground beneath you.
Let me shoot him in the back. No one has to know.
I hear you.
This is Serico territory. Get out of here before we space you. Got it? You've made a dangerous enemy today.
Let us end this.
Everyone down! Time to even the odds.
This shall
Time
not stop
to
us for
even
long.
the odds.
You're tough to have made it this far. It's too bad you're not going any farther. I don't make threats. I only state the facts. Do your worst.
More where that came from.
Let us end this. Yes.
Dovrei kun mwili wosa slima po gwanga samwana mucha.
Kavanatakalu! Kavanami donki krato.
Tawinti ni ja biasta malavari? Iglati tachapoi?
Yatuka uwanrika chotin wani maurata wakata chiluma lispa.
Dahupa bosa kurata go jujuto yoke. Hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune. Dovrei kun mwili wosa slima po gwanga samwana mucha. Unta chiwita inka kikraya na chawanga kone. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata. Dahupa bosa kurata go jujuto yoke. Hiata yamba wajiake yukito tune. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura. Tayaita ta bosananansata.
Something up? All right, what did you want to know? Yeah, that's a surprise. Did he say I owed him credits too? I'm as Atten will ever be. And whoever your trusted informant is, he's right. I did show up on Nar Shaddaa during the Jedi Civil War, along with a lot of other refugees. No, because you're asking about it. If I wanted to tell you anything, I would have come and told you. Anything else? Is this an interrogation? If so, you're terrible at it, especially for an ex-Jedi, or whatever you are. Why don't you just crawl in my head and try to dig out whatever you're looking for rather than asking about it? You know what? I helped you get off Peragus. If I hadn't been there, you wouldn't have even gotten off the administration level. I'm trying to help you. I don't know why I'm bothering. I don't know. I'm not sure I understand it half the time. You know what? Not once have I asked you about the Mandalorian Wars. Not once. I heard about Duxon. Everyone has. I heard about Serico, and I sure as hell know about Malachor 5. What makes you think you've got the right to interrogate me on anything? You've got plenty of lives to answer for. All you Jedi do. How did you even live with yourself after Malachor? Is that why you went back to the Jedi Council? Hoping they'd kill you? Wasn't it? Maybe you thought they'd forgive you. Sure, you might have thought they'd execute you. But Jedi don't kill, do they? At least not their prisoners. Maybe you were counting on it when you went back in chains. So you got off easy. You were exiled, brushed under the cargo ramp, another dirty little Jedi secret. I'll tell you, all those Jedi at Malachor, they deserved it. Every last one of them. Because Jedi lie, and they manipulate, and every act of charity or kindness they do, you can drag it out squirming into the light and see it for what it is. The galaxy doesn't need Jedi arrogance or Jedi hypocrisy anymore. The Jedi, the Sith, you don't get it, do you? To the galaxy, they're the same thing. Just men and women with too much power, squabbling over religion while the rest of us burn. At least the Sith are honest about what they're killing for. The Jedi are pacifists, except in times of war. They're teachers, except when it comes to telling their students the truth. And when they save you, it's only so you can suffer more. Whatever, just leave me alone. I don't know why I'm wasting my time with you anyway. Well, don't get too attached to me. I don't like it. It's because I'm a deserter. It's what I do. Served in both of them. Against the Mandalorians, before and after Revan, and again, when Revan declared war on the Jedi. Because I followed orders. But it was more than that. You were there. You knew how easy it was to hate the Jedi who sat back in the Republic, evaluating the threat, and watched us die against the Mandalorians. Because you can't believe in the Republic anymore after the Mandalorian Wars. After Revan, nothing was the same. Right after that final battle at Malachor, I was right there with the rest of the defectors, because it was the right thing to do. No, it wasn't. We needed the Jedi during the Mandalorian Wars, more than anything. The Mandalorians were slaughtering us by the millions. The millions. You were at Serico, when they turned the Stayrib cities into glass craters. At Duro, when Basilisk war droids rained like meteors onto the orbiting cities. And when the Mandalorians set fire to the Zoxan plains on Ares III, the fires that still burn. Without the Jedi who turned on the Council, without you, the Republic would have lost the war, and we would all be Mandalorian slaves or corpses. We were loyal to Revan. That was enough. He saved us. After Malachor, after the Mandalorian Wars, that's when the Sith teachings started spreading through the ranks. We knew where our loyalties lay. To the Jedi who came to help us, not the ones who sat back on Dantooine and Coruscant, watching us die. So when those same Jedi who watched us die decided to start fighting us during the Jedi Civil War, we fought back. I fought back. I started killing Jedi. A lot of them. People say killing Jedi is hard. It's not. You just have to be smart about it. No blasters, no getting close to them, no attacking them directly when you can gun down their allies instead. There's ways of gassing them, drugging them, making them lose control, torturing them. I was really good at it. What's worse is that killing them wasn't the best thing. Making them fall. Making them see our side of it. That was the best. I taught myself techniques. It's hard for Jedi to sense what you're really thinking if you throw up walls of strong emotions and feelings. Lust, impatience, cowardice. Most Jedi awareness doesn't cruise beyond the surface feelings to see what's deeper. And I was good at that, throwing up walls. And my superiors knew it. Sometimes the Jedi on our side wouldn't even realize I was there. Part of it. Maybe it was always me. It's hard to tell sometimes. I haven't known who I am for years. I wasn't the only one. I know you left at the Mandalorian Wars, so you don't know much about what went on behind the scenes in the Jedi Civil War. But Revan understood one thing. The real battle was going to be fought between the Jedi on both sides. That was the only battle that mattered. Whoever had the most, the strongest Jedi were going to win the Civil War. If Revan couldn't convert Jedi, Revan would kill them. So Revan trained elite Sith units into assassination squads, whose duty was to go out and capture enemy Jedi. I was in one of the special units trained to do this. Yeah, Revan had plans for all Jedi. I think it was important that the Jedi see his side of things, the Sith teachings. Revan wanted to break them, and then have them join him. One day, I decided not to do it anymore, so I left. Ended up on Nar Shaddaa, became someone else. Because you've killed Jedi too. Different circumstances, but you have a bigger body count than I ever did. And I've been with you only a short time. Enough to know that as soon as someone signs on with you, they haven't got long to live. You got history, and anyone who travels with you doesn't. And maybe I want somebody to know who I was in case a story needs to be set straight. Maybe you understand. Well, there was a woman, a Jedi. She gave her life for mine. I never knew her name. She sought me out. She said she had come to save me. She was lying, of course, or I think she was. It doesn't matter. She told enough truth to get my attention. She said that Revan was doing something terrible to Jedi within the unknown regions. That when we captured Jedi, they were sent to a place designed to break them. And that anyone in his service who showed any ability with the Force was sent there too, to turn them, to break them into dark Jedi, or assassins trained to kill Jedi. She said that's what would happen to me, that I had the Force inside me. That's why I was so good at killing Jedi. And that when the Sith learned of it, there would be no escape, no turning back. I would become an instrument of the dark side, forever. I had heard talk in the ranks, troops vanishing. I knew what she meant, but I didn't believe her. Or want to believe her. I did what I did with all Jedi. I hurt her. I hurt her a lot. And then, right when I thought she couldn't take any more, she showed me the Force. In my head. And I felt everything she felt. And I heard just an echo of what the Force was. And how what I was doing, I think I loved her. But it wasn't that kind of love. It was the kind of love where you're willing to give up everything for someone you don't even know. I killed her for crawling in my head, for showing me that. But before she opened her mind to mine, my only thought was that I would love to kill her. And at the end, I killed her because I loved her. In the end, she sacrificed herself to keep my secret, to prevent the Sith from knowing about that touch of the Force inside me. She wasted her life to save me. Me. And I felt her die when she opened her mind. I've killed Jedi, like I said, but I was never there to feel it, to be on the receiving end. And after that, I couldn't stop feeling things. Before, guilt, lust, impatience. It had been orchestrated to get close. Now it all just kept tumbling out, and I couldn't keep doing what I was doing. So I left. I fled with the displaced war veterans to Nar Shaddaa, and I lost myself there. Until the war came to an end. I wanted no more of Jedi, or Dark Jedi, or the Force. I just wanted to be left alone. And then, I met you on Paragus. And I thought maybe she had saved me so that I could help you. And if I can't, then I have to try. I didn't want to tell you any of this, but I had to. Because if something happens, I can't let you think I was doing it for something other than the past. Once, a Jedi showed me the Force. I heard it. I felt it. At the time, there was too much pain to confront it. Because if I did, it meant I would be changed into something else. Now, I'm not afraid of it anymore. And I think that by learning how to use it, I can help protect you. Or at least buy you some time when disaster comes screaming in. I want to learn how to use the Force. I want to learn how to use the Force to help you. What must I do? Is there some ritual, or...
Focus.
Who are you? One of Sakwesh's calf hounds? Adana. My mom made the mistake of telling Sakwesh he couldn't sell me to the Hutts, so he took me. Really? Oh, why didn't you say so? Oh, sorry about those things I said to you. You do look a little like a calf hound, though. Oh, goody, I was hoping I'd get to sit in this cell a little longer.
Time to take you down to size. Let's settle this.
Hey, you're back. Oh, I wanted to see you thrash him. Well, thanks.
I will silence this one.
Where that came from?
Let us handle this.
Hey, you look like a spacer. You work at the docks? Because if you need a crew, I'm your man. I flew during the Mandalorian Wars, and again during the Jedi Civil War. Yes, and look where I ended up. You need a pilot's license to fly the freighters here. They're tough to get without sponsorship. I'd greatly appreciate that.
Greetings. Are you the spacer we were told about? Oh, we were expecting one of the pilots from the docks sometime soon to come and get us off Nar Shaddaa. He's late. I don't know where he is. Thank you. To be honest, I don't even know his name. Some guy named Planor said he had a pilot friend who would take us for 500 credits. 50 credits? Why? I was afraid of that. I knew I shouldn't have trusted him. Thank you. I'm beginning to lose hope that we'll ever get out of here.
Monsikuno bosh tunabug samina nung forote mitisi mingro agorunto kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatura tayaita ta bosananansata ta kometa kablaia justing miki gongo beaste kun grabila king no mulara kichi kuta grasa kisha Unta chiwita inka kikraya na chawanga kone.
Another refugee? I'm sad to see another join our ranks. I lost my husband Lutra long ago in the Jedi Civil War. When Telos was bombarded by the Sith, some of us were able to escape on in-system shuttles. We floated in orbit for weeks before we were picked up by Republic capital ships. I think the Sith wanted witnesses to what happened to Telos, and I've been drifting from planet to planet ever since, only to end up here with nowhere left to go. You were kind to offer, but unless you can return my husband to me, there is little that you can do.
Welcome, traveler. My name's Husef. I try to look out for the other refugees. Thanks for taking care of Sakwesh. I fear what the exchange might do next, though. You've already helped us greatly. Life should start improving for us.
Let's see. 3 bricks of spice out to Elysia, then with a turnaround. No, that won't work. Come act! Here so soon? I wasn't expecting you for. Well, not now. Anyway. Yeah, well, I tried to explain that, you see, but, I had no choice. These thugs showed up, and they said that you could go space yourselves. And I was like, no, this is the Red Eclipse, and...
Yes?
Keep back. I am ill. Contagious, the others say. Really? The others say I have the plague. I'm feeling a little better. Thank you.
That was noble of you to help that sickly man. You put your own life at risk to save others. I admire your bravery.
Thank you so much for returning my Adana to me.
Ready. Ready.
Rishunko, Jova, Ninja, Chimba, Paxi, Treduju, Juju Pitie, Prim Taba, Nin Sochu.
I will silence this one. Why are you here?
Because I told him everything.
Ah, and now you are free?
Yeah, so no more threats, no more of your requests. You and me, we're done.
Did you ever think I truly held you? You're more of a fool than I thought. What truly held you was you, and let me show you why. I once held the galaxy by the throat, as you once held her by the throat and let her die slowly. And your emotion at that point is what you fear. I can unlock that part of you anytime I wish. It is a simple thing, the human mind. Once it feels something strongly, it becomes etched in the memory, the subconscious. Shall I show you? That part of you that hungered to kill Jedi, that took pleasure from it? Or perhaps you will continue to listen to my counsel, and I shall ignore your pathetic attempts at freedom. Now leave me, murderer. I have nothing further to say to one such as you.
Yes? I think you are ready for the final tier I wish to teach. You have made much progress. For this you may use any melee weapon and any shields you possess, but nothing else. No Jedi saber, and no other items. We shall begin this final lesson then. Was correct about you. You know war, its motions and currents. There is nothing more I can teach you. I have already learned much of your styles and combat. There is no need to know more. Combat among the Ichani is a personal thing. Repeated duels are not what they are in other cultures, and I would rather that this not become more than it is. And I have taken an oath to Atris against studying from a Jedi, or anything of the Jedi teachings. My father broke his oaths. He shamed us all. I do not wish to follow his path. I swore not to follow his path. If I were to follow a Jedi against Atris's wishes, then I would be betraying her for you. This is a difficult thing for me to say, but I ask that you be silent as I tell you this. It is my desire to learn from you what you can teach me of battle. I have already learned much in our duels, but with every battle, I wish to know more of you. Your stance, your movements, I can sense shades of meaning and an echo of something I have yet to experience. Atris said that you were the only Jedi to have survived the Mandalorian Wars, that you had stared into the heart of war, and only turned away because you were forced to. I do not believe her. I believe that you made a choice, as my father did, and that is important to me, more than you know. And you are important to me more than you know. I will accept whatever you wish to teach me, though it breaks my oath to Atris. I have thought about what you have said, of my mother, of my bloodline. There is something I would ask of you.
And so it ends.
I want you to teach me the ways of the Force, to become a Jedi Knight like my mother. That is all I wish. I want to feel what my mother felt for my father, what ran through my mother's veins when she was one with the Force. I wish to hear what my mother heard as she fought the Mandalorians, until the moment she died on Malachor 5. I will not let you down, Exile. I will honor you as I honor the face of my mother.
Betrayal. Betrayal.
Betrayal?
Mistress?
She has betrayed me. The last of your sisters has betrayed me. Betrayed us. She is your sister no more. She does not travel with the exile. Instead, she has chosen to walk the path of the Jedi.
Mistress, forgive us, but are you certain? She would not forsake her oath so lightly.
It is the truth, and it is done. Do you doubt me?
No, mistress. It is you who saved the Jedi upon Dantooine, who have collected their knowledge and hid it here to protect it.
But why? How did she fall? It is a sign of his corruption, and perhaps hers as well. He will train her, and she will be flawed.
I'm here.
My life for yours. I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you. I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed if that's the answer you seek. I know, and I fear that others will see the mercy in your actions, and in my survival, and use it as a weapon to do you greater harm. I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it. I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant. But I do not know why. You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels, until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready. If I bring you before my master untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter. I cannot, I will not. I would die first, and gladly, to preserve you, untouched, unharmed. Now that I have found you, I cannot sacrifice what I have found. You will meet my master. It is inevitable. I have seen it. And when you stand before him and realize what you face, you must be prepared. Until then, I must protect you, help you, until you are ready. There's a greatness in you, A greatness that does not stem from the Force. It stems from who you are. And if my master does not understand you, cannot see you, then perhaps there is hope for us all. But if you seek to survive, then you must understand why this is so. There is much I see my master cannot. I fear it is because of my nature, the nature of my race. My people spend their lives seeing the galaxy, the energy streaming off stars, the growth of life, all things touched by the Force. It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction. It was not a thing done with machines or weapons. The Force is far more terrible, and it touches more lives than any machine can hope to slay. For everyone that feels the Force, strongly, deeply, each one feels and perceives it in their own way. You have strengths, whether you know it or not, and my master has his. His power is great, and it comes from hunger. He is a wound in the Force, more presence than flesh. And in his wake, life dies, sacrificing itself to his hunger. And those who feel the Force strongly are beacons to his hunger. My people, my planet, would have been attacked in time. It was inevitable. Yet we could do nothing about it. The Jedi, the last council of the Jedi, came to our world to meet in secret. They hoped that perhaps among our people, they could achieve the clarity to see what was striking them from the darkness of the galaxy. They succeeded, but only in bringing him from the outer regions. And Qatar, with my kind, with the Jedi upon its surface, could no longer be ignored. And my people died, and the Jedi died, and there was no one left, only me. They hoped to see the threat that had been stalking them, and they did. But they were unprepared for the magnitude of the threat. He cannot deny his hunger for long, and any gathering of Jedi is something he cannot long resist. And now that the Jedi are vanishing, I do not know what will happen. Perhaps he will grow strong enough to eradicate all life, merely with his presence. I do not understand what you mean. They hoped to see the threat that had been stalking them, and they did. But they were unprepared for the magnitude of the threat. Forgive me, but before you go, I must ask. Why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me? You must not do this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me. So you say, but it is not something I have observed or seen. I remember little of my homeworld before I entered my master's service. It is not as it was. There is little left of such memories, or the planet itself. It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction. I've heard tales of Malachor. It is said that many of my people felt the end of the Mandalorian Wars from across the galaxy. But do not mistake me. I did not mean to draw comparisons between Qatar and Malachor. My homeworld still exists. It is intact. The planet was not destroyed. It remains. It orbits, dead in space. But nothing lives on its surface. It echoes, but there's no one left to hear it. I am not certain I did. I was there when the planet died. To see everything around you extinguished. It was as if I was blinded. It was as if the Force had been bled from the world. I imagine there are worse deaths, worse pain. But if there are, I do not know them. I was the only living thing remaining on the planet of Qatar. And my life, my agony, was a flicker in the darkness that was the planet. All that I had been connected to had been severed. I still wonder what would have happened if I had died with the others. If perhaps there would have been some way to hide my presence from the galaxy. If only I had not felt that pain, that loss, as strongly as I did. But it could not be done. When the life was bled from the planet, and yet somehow I remained. My master came for me. He walked upon the surface of my dead world, and there, lying in the bodies of my race, he took me for his own, and he made me see. And for the first time I saw the galaxy, and I wished to die. To this galaxy, my world, absent the currents and spectrums of the Force, was nothing but crude matter, rock, flesh, emptiness. He showed the flickering of life on other planets. The mass of beings that swarm through the empty places of the galaxy. To see such creatures, disconnected from themselves, their world, their place in it, unable to see the currents and how they affected everything around them. He showed me to make me believe in his cause. He convinced me the galaxy, all life, must die. He fed upon its ugliness, its screaming, and in its place, he left silence. And where there was chaos, he brought stillness and order. It was not a thing done with machines or weapons. The Force is far more terrible, and it touches more lives than any machine can hope to slay. For everyone that feels the Force, strongly, deeply, each one feels and perceives it in their own way. You have strengths, whether you know it or not, and my master has his. His power is great, and it comes from hunger. He is a wound in the Force, more presence than flesh. And in his wake, life dies, sacrificing itself to his hunger. And those who feel the Force strongly are beacons to his hunger. My people, my planet, would have been attacked in time. It was inevitable. Yet we could do nothing about it.
Yes? There is nothing more I can teach you. You may ask.
Yes? Have you come with questions? That crystal is bonded to you. Through you, it acquires its character and strength, and through it, your power is enhanced. Most interesting. Your crystal does not perfectly reflect your current self. Remove it from your lightsaber, then ask me about it again. Is there something else you wished? And? Did he? And what do you make of that? You are right to trust your instincts. Something is wrong. It is only a matter of discovering what and why. If your instincts lead you to an answer, seek me out. Perhaps we will discuss more. Ask, and I will answer. He, if he can truly be called a man any longer, is one of the dark lords that pursues you. I do not think he knows what you are. Not yet. He spared the Miraluka, and that may have been the last shred of feeling that exists within him. Keep his slave close to you. I suspect there was a reason he spared her, and perhaps a reason that she survived when the rest of her people and the Jedi did not. Entertain what illusions you will. I am too tired to argue them with you. One cannot have power of that magnitude that her master possesses and still think and perceive the universe as we do, as most of us do. I had hoped that you would not have to confront him, but her presence here has changed all that. You will have to meet him in battle. You must be prepared to sacrifice the blinded one. Perhaps her death will buy you the time you need to deal with her master. Entertain what illusions you will. I am too tired to argue them with you. It is a technique that is almost as old as the Sith themselves. It is a means of severing connections between life, the Force, and feeding upon the death it causes. It cannot be taught. It can only be gained through instinct, through experiencing its effects firsthand. Yes, and he fed upon its destruction. It will sustain him for a time. Because it is not something that can ever truly be controlled, and it leaves nothing to conquer in its wake. And it rules him, not the other way around. It has its own will, its own instincts. Power? Do you think so? You would be wrong. There is no strength in the hunger he possesses, and the will behind his power is a primal thing. And it devours him as he devours others. His mere presence kills all around him, slowly feeding him. He is already dead. It is simply a question of how many he kills before he falls. Nothing is impossible with the Force. It is an energy that flows through all living things. And like energy, it may be harnessed, channeled, and consumed at times. It may even be a substance that can burn and ignite. Do not think of his power as one would a weapon, or one of your warships of the Republic. It is terrible, but it is still a subtle thing. The sect of assassins that chase you feed on the Force. What he does is simply the pinnacle of what they could achieve in time. And that is why they and their techniques must be wiped out. No one again must experience and learn what her master did. As much as one may use the Force to bolster the wills and strengths of others, the reverse is possible, though not often used. Instead of sending one's will through connections in the Force, instead such connections are drawn upon, fed upon, and drained completely. Then you understand how terrible such a power is, and why it must be ended. It is an empty road to the dark side, and by traveling it, the price is death before one's time. He is a breach in the Force, capable of consuming the lives of those around him. Sometimes the touch is slow, as it is with his crew. It is not something he can direct or focus, much like hunger itself. He is more of a hole in the Force than a living thing. Force sensitives and worlds rich in the Force draw him. The Miraluka world was one such place. That is why where the Jedi gather, Jedi will die. He will feel it, unless they mask their presence. But Qatar called out as a beacon to him, and he could not resist it. And he cares nothing for the Sith, or its teachings, or the Jedi. And when the Jedi are dead, he will feed on the galaxy, the Republic, and eventually consume the Sith as well. There is no future in the empty galaxy he sees, and that is why he must be stopped. The breach must be sealed before his power grows beyond what even we can hope to stop. Yes, have you come with questions? Very well. What is it that drives you? Have you done as I asked? There are many secrets that the Force may not unlock, for they are not things of life. To uncover such secrets can allow you to see events more clearly. It can grant you more weapons, more wealth, and allow you access to places and their secrets that can often turn the tide of a battle or change events. Skill does not always draw from the Force, but it is a measure of power nonetheless. It can grant knowledge, help steady oneself when one's thoughts are in chaos, or grant enlightenment. Much can be achieved without the Force, as you know. Life continues, persists, and may be helped or harmed as a result. Now I am tired. Leave me to my meditations.
Yeah?
Yes?
Let's go.
What is...
Tonos imeragith. Wanarakora ci drumta sa inchobin sasha. Dosimana rachata.
Sarda chornilo tabe duana matakanus dogulupan. Daka prota gocha jarkomati sochpan lorcha. Yota chi sabarinish. Uba volpa holosha. Chuba doso jibicha. Krota short na chinomak. Uba volpa holosha. Chuba doso jibicha. Krota short na chinomak.
Tonos imeragith. Wanarakora ci drumta sa inchobin sasha. Dosimana rachata. Tonos imeragith. Wanarakora ci drumta sa inchobin sasha. Dosimana rachata. Mokka kamaranen doso ranwid no chabi. Du rantamana sobu. Bomababe wanto susintu mukarata. Tu es rectonatada ber mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi me burokra. Taranamo sibu endasarans. Krema sunkun ratungala. Chawi mo jubu inkosoracha.
Nishasa ochutu gonkura. Tawinti malare. Jurun maba kodu soto. Me kogariti jakolo me bomas. Machi tu pacha machalo aba. Dona sinto noraki pashakani. Kokparodunga nimisindo shoka. Mushka me turundi. Juba me mesing. Ratsak man prata.
Tonoranga manakaran. Ipo inshawa. Tonoranga manakaran. Ipo inshawa. Bomababe wanto susintu mukarata. Tu es rectonatada ber mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi me burokra. Mechabi doko. Tonoranga manachunga.
Nishasa ochutu gonkura. Tawinti malare. Daka prota gocha. Jarkomati sochpan lorcha. Yota chi sabarinish. Uba volpa holosha. Chuba doso jibicha. Krota short na chinomak. Uba volpa holosha. Chuba doso jibicha. Krota short na chinomak. Uba volpa holosha. Chuba doso jibicha. Krota short na chinomak. Jabalakish. Tochimaka. Lotologo besanus. Misash lochut. No, nananka talani chispo karana yokcha listo chisaje. Daka prota gocha. Jarkomati sochpan lorcha. Yota chi sabarinish. Lus jamachor heptoth nich dorksha tochiren kotesh. Jot akish besa hek pankpajiji. Uba volpa holosha. Chuba doso jibicha. Krotat short nachino mak. Daka prota gocha. Jarkomati sochbam lorcha. Yota chi sabarinish. Daka prota gocha. Jarkomati sochbam lorcha. Yota chi sabarinish. Jabalakish. Tochimaka. Lotologo besanus. Misash lochut. Jabalakish. Tochimaka. Lotologo besanus. Misash lochut. Teuyani na fasa sushowikana inidocha kes. Kappa torundi loso chiranani. No, nananka talani chispo karana yokcha listo chisaje.
Let's go.
Josimu poindorakawa ichirendumu moparama kawana abawasi. You kroren wan mapusit indolara. Tonoranga manakan, ipo inshawa. Bo mababe want to susintu mukarata. Tu esfrektonatada ber mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi meborokra.
Bograsyong kontichaum, King Lorta Aithakun, Aithapati satong Diakon Batot Kaun, Chona Choba. Tapi Chayubong, Chijiskapule, Chumbole, Watagratug, Jimula. Chupayubong labograturong agtichimait muleran yun chuba. Nilung kagratuk jimut maliabist wet wata. Jiji naudung chong yomabala yuman. Yomawama ni boba lorda wishwanga shachi. Nilung kagratuk jimut maliabist wet wata. Jiji naudung chong yomabala yuman. Chopiti man punjame. Sashange bedwana mulera. Chupawanga una konticha. Chona konasa. Chopiti man punjame. Sashange bedwana mulera. Chupawanga una konticha. Chona konasa.
Ready. I'm here.
Başla, doğuşan konuyu alımını bana ulaşışta. Bana o diyor, demir dumanı başla. Taklı, bir vakit naktaşlık bir vakit. Mani vakti hada hira hapna urede mani maç. What you turn over there, my stuff, the manure on there, but our out in the village, net on the two new round, and all up with me, us knowing the how up. Mash, the mahin on hala, the one in the rest, the namash. Marash Nivala, the Veninish, the Veninish, not much to Sniva, the Tower down, even enough, not only a walk with the Ura, but they not on this. Marash Nivala, the Veninish, the Veninish, not much to Sniva, the Tower down, even enough, not only a walk with the Ura, but they not on this.
Not a very good idea, entering a Mandalorian's room uninvited. Why don't you back up to the point where you were standing outside the door and rethink your decision? There are a few of us in the galaxy. Now, what do you want? Enjoy yourself.
What's going on? Let's go.
Dobry Chubabash, Kitskala, Dorcha, Wata, Tokyoke, Ninja. Rishunko, Jova, Ninja, Jimba, Paksi, Treduju, Trijuju, Pitie, Printaba, Nin Sochu. Rishunko, Jova, Ninja, Jimba, Paksi, Treduju, Trijuju, Pitie, Printaba, Nin Sochu. Barikun King Honka, Namkumbwe Prita, Nkonata, Sunka Kran. Dovri Chubabash, Kitskala, Dorcha, Wata, Tokyoke, Ninja. Honto non sa nonna, prontangua ni monunda saka. Dovri Chubabash, Kitskala, Dorcha, Wata, Tokyoke, Ninja. Honto non sa nonna, prontangua ni monunda saka. Dovri Chubabash, Kitskala, Dorcha, Wata, Tokyoke, Ninja.
Tanto todos, tumukarata. Miranga naroto. Dosimana rachata. Dosakachi, kawana abawasi. Tenanjara, tomachunga, karota. Tanto todos, tumukarata. Miranga naroto. Dosimana rachata. Nunchka wanasicho ranabamangakan. Mopidawa josi muchuto. Dosakachi, kawana abawasi. Tanto todos, tumukarata. Miranga naroto. Dosimana rachata. Kroto no ranga manatandi koroto. Mopiuna wanasichin si wanobosh. Tanto todos, tumukarata. Miranga naroto. Dosimana rachata. Aramontok, tumukarachukorak. Grun kanwana machi nito rabanaka. Dosimona racha. Gonachi drum paba nakaras. Tanto todos, tumukarata. Miranga naroto. Dosimana rachata. Tanto todos, tumukarata. Miranga naroto. Dosimana rachata. Minsukre masukun ratungala. Merontono junsara garoto. Minsukun rakawata. Poendo rakamana sobu. Tanto todos, tumukarata. Miranga naroto. Dosimana rachata. Johnny nikarai binachi. Paba gonachi drumka. Dosakachi, kawana abawasi. Posa non chirinta masukin kurawanka. Posong chinsun mi karanga do maichonga. Tu es recto na tu insula raka rakachat. Tenanjara, do maichonga, karota.
My life is yours. My life is yours.
I don't know who you are, but you picked the wrong room to break into. No harm done. For a minute, I thought you might have been someone else. My wife, Ada. There's a chance she may be here on Nar Shaddaa. A lot of refugees ended up here after the Jedi Civil War. I came here to see if I could track her down. Thing is, I can't get into the refugee sector. And even if I could, I'm not sure I could find her. I've been here for weeks, hoping to see her face. All I've done is watch my credits burn away to nothing. What? Is there any way to get her out? I can't believe she's still alive. This is the best news I've heard in years. Please, whatever you can do, I'd appreciate it.
Back again? Is there anything I can do for you? What? Lutra's here? Please! You must help me get to him! How did you do this? I barely know you, and you've brought me word of my husband, and then a free path to him. It's almost too good to be true. You've given me my husband back, stranger. My husband, my life. Thank you.
Aida, I didn't think I'd ever find you. I can't believe you're here before me.
The destruction of Telos? I can't even tell you what happened after, being shuttled from system to system barely one planet ahead of the Sith fleet.
Shh, we can talk about it later. You have my thanks, stranger. I can only hope you have as much luck at what you're looking for. It's strange you came by when you did. I was right at the edge of deciding whether to give up, turning it over in my mind, and suddenly you walked through the door and gave me the answer I needed to hear. I'll remember that. Thanks again, stranger.
It would have been better had he found her on his own. By aiding him, you have only weakened him. He was at a moment of crisis, a moment of indecision. It is those internal struggles when they are fought and won that yield the strongest rewards. You took that battle from him, cheapened it. If he truly loved her, truly, he would have entered the refugee sector on his own, damn the exchange, damn everything in his path, and taken her. You have made their union easier, not better. If you ever weakened yourself in such a way for me, I would rather suffer and die than have you demean yourself for me. That is not who you are, who you can become. Then your allies are your weakness, and if they die, you die with them. And where once the Sith had but one target, now there are many, and you frustrate my attempts to protect you. I grow weary of this. Perhaps time will allow my words to take root, if your common sense will not permit it.
The honor is mine.
I'm here.
Oh, looks like the Jedi raised their standards. Hanhar. I thought I smelled something. I've told you before, hunt your own targets. Don't scavenge mine. What, working for the Hutt suddenly made you stupider, Hanhar? You touch me, you'll break the truce. And then you won't last long enough to slip off this moon. Don't, Hanhar. I'm warning you. I don't want your life dead, Hanhar. I told you. Yeah, you're right. I'm afraid. I'm afraid if you keep crushing me, I'll accidentally set off my rocket charges and blow us both to Nar Shaddaa. I'd rather die than be caught by you again, Hanhar.
This shall not stop us for long.
Carry yourself.
We just got this message on the comlink. Looks like trouble. I think this is something everyone will want to hear. The droid's the one who picked up the message. He's got it all ready to display. Well, good thing it's not a trap.
What are you talking about? It's obviously a trap.
Could you please lighten up for 1 second?
It may be a trap, but traps work both ways. This Visquis, his kind is spread through the lower reaches of Nar Shaddaa, and he may have information. But the choice is yours. If you go, you will have to go alone.
It's just off the docks, near one of the far traffic pylons. He's got you at a disadvantage there, though. The place is filled with cyanogen gas. One whiff of that and it'll be the last breath you take. You'll need something to allow you to breathe there, and disguise you from the other patrons. Yeah, that means all you have to worry about is the patrons not finding out that you're human and gunning you down. Be careful. This whole situation stinks. Well, I wouldn't keep him waiting. If you got his attention, you probably attracted the attention of someone else. Hey, look, I wanted to tell you. Be careful. I won't be able to contact you via the comlink if something happens, and I'm betting that squidhead knows it. Look, take these. They're healing packs. If your suit gets breached, you'll need to inject them fast if you don't want your lungs to seize up. And trust me, once the seizures start, you'll be dead. Watch yourself, and don't be too long. I'll keep an eye out here until you return. And I know just the place.
So, you're the big Jedi that everyone's been talking about. You don't look so tough to me. I thought you Jedi were supposed to be smart, and here you are running around Nar Shaddaa sticking your lightsaber into everyone's business. What, were you planning to save everyone on this moon? You're attracting more attention than a fleet of Sith warships. I'm Mira. I'm the best bounty hunter in this system, and that's not me bragging, that's fact. I had you in my sights ever since you landed. I've been watching you run all over the refugee sector like a bantha, and for someone with a price on their head as high as yours, you sure don't know how to keep a low profile. Look, I know that squid-head Visquis sent you a message to meet him in the Jek-Jek Tar. He works for Godo, and it's a trap. I'm betting he's gonna lure you in there, start a fight, and then he's gonna wrap you up and deliver you to Goto. Dead, claiming you attacked him. Just this. I know you're meeting with Visquis. If I know about it, that means everybody else on this moon knows about it, or will soon enough. And when that happens, the bounty hunter truce is off. That means things are gonna get real ugly real quick. Now, I don't think you get it. They're not gonna come after you. I think your friends are the ones in trouble.
Well, this sure beats staying on the ship. A few drinks to keep me on my toes, a few games of Pazak to keep the mind alert. Should be enough to keep me out of trouble until our fearless leader straightens things out. Give me a hit of Juma, and keep 'em coming. Well, looks like staying on the ship was a bad idea after all. So, I don't think I caught your names. You two work here, or?
Kichu no kada mirenito. Renfiloso ni heku chupa ret atamakcha. Unsora sancha tarakcha konka kamakichu?
Yeah? What happened to your master?
Kichu no kada mirenito. Renfiloso ni heku chupa ret atamakcha. Tonotucha? Tocha ramakaka musurankana. Joanna masaranka ma ramazurata. Keso juskrita lorsa. Yumacha fueko mikujira.
No, I'm here protecting someone. Keeping them out of trouble. By acting as a distraction for people looking to harm him.
Tawanti malare? Kono wisotoranda krani? Da upo boteño go jucho picha. Gwem taba ni sochu. Norotoga proto lala shishi. Juba dosa jibacha. Ratak mansan. Tokosha na chitolo. Kavadumpe masuraku. Popayi boteña. Tache morota kamsa. Javaskobo sabjo. Rijiso karvenokso. Mochito sasa grindeyo.
Why don't you two shuttas try it and we'll see what happens?
Du no coherete pachasa borta. Crisocha wentense me punta. Lorcha wata yuma ni. Hodanga yuma des. Dak bota no chi tagwa ita. No sokupa puta. Brentaba nin sucho.
That's it. The bounty hunter truce is off. That means this place is gonna get real bad, real fast. I better get back to the ship. Warn the others.
I don't know why a Jedi would come here. There's so much noise on this moon.
Of course. It makes detecting a Jedi difficult.
But to be in a place where one drowns in the Force, why would a Jedi wish that?
A simple question, to which I ask another. Why should a Jedi want to hide?
Hey, we need to move out.
What are you talking about? What is wrong?
The truce between the bounty hunters in Nar Shaddaa is off. There's gonna be a war. A trap in the Jek Tar is bad enough, but having 100 bounty hunters on your back is something else.
He was told to meet alone. We cannot disrupt their meeting until the alien reveals the information he has.
Look, we need to move. They're coming after us, not the exile.
If they are coming after us, then they will be after him as well. We need to go rescue him.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm guessing we're in a lot more trouble than he is.
Loka kamaran endoso ranwi no chabi. Du rantamana sobu. Taranamo sibu endasarans. Krema sunku. Loka kamaran endoso ranwi no chabi. Du rantamana sobu. Febko emareyam ga watasitu insula raka chata. Tamaso kinchuda wanka. Mopi una wana si chokoratawa.
Anybody here catch that? All I understood was very.
I think he wanted us to give up the General to his poorly trained collection of bounty hunters.
Ah, well, that would explain it. Which one do you want?
I'll take the stupid one, who decided to threaten us rather than shoot us when he had the chance.
This is one of my safe houses. It's not too pretty to look at, but keeps away prying eyes. Yeah, well, it's one of those trade-offs. All the freighter exhaust from the docks, you know. Some aliens actually like breathing it, if you can believe it. You could say I've gotten used to it. This is actually perfume compared to how the rest of the docks smell. You know, Visquis is arranging a trap for you in the Jek Tar. No surprise there. Thing is, he intends to cut the bounty hunters out of the loop and deliver you to Goto personally. Not smart from where I'm standing. Well, for one thing, you're going to stay here, and I'm going to meet with Visquis instead. Well, that smell you noticed when you came in? It's probably filtering through your lungs right now. I upped the dosage in case you had some Jedi training to resist poisons. Anybody without olfactory blockers, like I have, is going to start feeling dizzy and eventually fall unconscious. Good night, Jedi. Let me just take that environment suit, and I'll be back soon.
Dawancha mori con soba, ma wani dinjori ki sodu sobarenwa. Dorjine soba wata. Shegji king lord chawatawama, me kogari ti chakolom yeboma. Ke kon shashi king, ne king ko no bajikon.
Good eyes, Hanhar. No wonder you're still number 2 on Nar Shaddaa. Yeah, and maybe you'd like to explain why you've decided to backstab Goto and claim the Jedi for yourself. You signed on with Boga the Hutt? Visquis, you're dumber than I thought. There's no way Goto won't find out. Yeah, right. I'm not telling you where the Jedi is. It's my bounty, and that means he's under my protection.
I know you can hear me. The numbness you feel should be wearing off soon, but not before we've spoken. When I first heard you were on Nar Shaddaa, I didn't quite believe it. I didn't think anyone could track me here, but I see I underestimated you. I've been trying to discover your purpose in coming here, but it eludes me. Some of your actions have aided the exchange. Others have thwarted them. I did not know your intentions when you stood before us at your trial so long ago, and I do not know them now. But whatever they are, you have succeeded in drawing me out. If anything, you should know that your actions have convinced me I can stand by and watch no longer. Whatever harm the exchange harbors against Jedi, I will not let another suffer for it. A friend has gone to meet Visquis in your stead, and I intend to rescue her. I will return shortly, or not at all. If you have come to this moon for answers, or for revenge, then you will follow me. For if I fail, then you will be denied both.